About a year ago, I did a video. You can see this one here, Bitcoin ETF. Make your money and run. And you can see it got about 2K views, and it actually had a very, very powerful reaction. By that, I mean in the comments section. And I was verbally challenged, I'll say, by some of the comments that were made as if I had completely lost my mind. I did another video about Bitcoin. Bit buy Bitcoin and get bit if you sit on it. It also issued a bit of a warning on Bitcoin. Interestingly enough, there's an article here from today. Bitcoin price drops to 95K as extreme fear hits the market. Bitcoin is currently trading just above 95K, and what you see in front of you is the chart over the last 2 months. We're going to talk about that.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right.
So we're also going to talk about another article as well. This one here, for instance, Bitcoin price watch. Is it bottoming or just breathing? The charts weigh in. We're not going to do chart technical analysis, but we are going to look into the article and talk about it. Interestingly enough, there's another article. Morgan Stanley warns Bitcoin is entering its fall cycle phase. The heck does that mean? We'll talk about it. And then I'm going to save something for you where a prominent investor says what he's going to do about Bitcoin. We'll check it out. So let's go back to the original article here, where it says Bitcoin drops to 95K as extreme fear hits the market. Like I said, this article is from today, November 15th. And the story highlights say it collapsed below 94K as the fear index hit extreme lows, confirming 10x research warnings, whomever 10x is. 10x research, that's who they are, predict breaking the 92 to 96K zone could trigger Bitcoin's next severe decline. Whew. And analysts strongly caution. Traders ignoring 10x signals risk heavy losses as Bitcoin continues sliding with widening downtrend. So now all the passionate Bitcoin maxis, I'm curious to know, how do you feel? Make sure you tell me in the comments. 10x said they warned everybody and everyone ignored it. For the last 10 months, they repeatedly highlighted the 110 to 112K zone as the line that could flip the market from bullish to bloody. Once Bitcoin slipped below that range, momentum cracked, support vanished, and the downtrend activated, exactly as the chart shows. Let's go look at the chart real quick. Let's see where it's at. What's this up here? 124 is where it's at right here, but actually it's about 125, especially if you take the wick, it's certainly 125. But in any case, what did happen after the fact is a plummet down to where we are today. So for all you Bitcoin maxis out there, when I did videos about Bitcoin and touched on, I guess, the god of the Bitcoin maximalist community, I'm sorry, you guys, I still love you. Maybe bit by Bitcoin, and you can still get bit if you sit on it. Maybe, maybe not. You see, because see, I'm a paradigm whisperer. I'm not here to hate on anybody. And is this a ploy? Is this a ploy like the Bitcoin price watch? Is it bottoming or just breathing? We don't know. But what I do know is Michael Saylor abandoned ship and posted it on his X page. And so we have to wonder, are the rich and the elite trying to get retail out of the way, doing us a fair one and giving us a warning? When I say us, I mean those who are invested in Bitcoin. I'm not invested in Bitcoin. And if I have it, I don't know about it. I'd have to look and see if anybody did something that gave me a piece of a Bitcoin, like getting on an exchange or something. I don't know. I'd have to look. But I don't personally own or buy Bitcoin. But I am going to talk about it. And everyone knows that when the big kahuna goes down, the little ones start coming up after going down a little bit, which makes me think of CZ's posts about you come back up if you're untethered. Is it a foreboding sign that Bitcoin is about to bite the bullet? And therefore, the extreme fear is justified. Well, I can't necessarily answer that. But what I do know is that Morgan Stanley warned that Bitcoin is entering its fall cycle. Now, in the introduction, I said, well, what the heck does that mean? Its fall cycle. Well, Morgan Stanley strategists say Bitcoin is entering the fall phase of its 4-year cycle, and they recommend profit taking. Now, would Morgan Stanley do that favor for those retail investors? Or is there a plan to get retail investors out of the way so that they don't make too much money? Because it says institutional investors still see Bitcoin as a hedge against inflation, but liquidity inflows from ETFs and stablecoins have plateaued. Now, why do you think they plateaued? Could it have something to do with all the XRP ETFs that are really going to get the money? It could very well be. And while the bit by bit video I did was 2 years ago, I also did another couple of videos. Can a Bitcoin ETF fail? A year ago. And then taking Bitcoin and BTC ETFs to their graves. I'm not going to rehash all I said there. I'm going to encourage you to go watch the videos, help a brother out. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, make sure you comment. Comment and tell me, what do you think about Bitcoin price watch bottoming or just breathing? The charts weigh in. Starting from the top, Bitcoin is trailing a pronounced downtrend after tumbling from October highs of $126,272. The sequence of lower highs and lower lows is a textbook bearish structure, confirmed by significant red volume spikes that scream sustained selling pressures. I bet you if you go watch my videos, you'll see that I told you to expect exactly this. Where does it go from here? I don't know, but let's go look at Morgan Stanley. And remember that Morgan Stanley called it they're entering into their fall season, and fall is time for the harvest. But the debate is how long this fall will last and when the next winter will start. And will there be a heat wave before the winter comes in? Bitcoin recently fell below 99,000, dropping under its 365-day moving average, a key indicator tracked by analysts to gauge market sentiment. Well, it talks about institutional investors are remaining cautious but engaged. And I promised that I would show you what a well-known investor has said about Bitcoin and see what you think. Robert Kiyosaki says, I will buy more Bitcoin when the crash is over, as Bitcoin price hits 6-month low. Is Robert Kiyosaki giving insight to Bitcoin, or is he a part of the agenda to get you out of the way for Bitcoin? And for you Bitcoin maximalists who thought this could never happen, that it was going to go to 1 million, do you still have that level of confidence? It says Robert Kiyosaki refuses to sell, citing the big print, past lessons, and strong cash flow assets, planning to buy more Bitcoin once the market stabilizes. So he's saying that he's not going to sell. Nearly 900 million, almost a billion with a B, in Bitcoin long positions were liquidated. But this made up less than 2% of the total open interest. Now, that $900 million did not disappear. What do I think it's going to do? I think it's going to fuel the money for other things that are going to happen. Kiyosaki says his confidence comes from a steady income through real estate and private investments. So that doesn't say Bitcoin, does it? I'll tell you where I think the money's going to go, and then I'm going to shut this video down. The money's going to go right here. Is there an XRP ETF slush fund on deck for the next month? Next month being this month? $6 trillion is waiting to surge into XRP, and they just got $1 billion of it from liquidations. I'm DK Will. This is DK. We'll talk about it. And I talked about it. Have a wonderful day.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right.